what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 4:13 p.m. What the fuck? April 12th, 2026, you know what I mean? But the upload time is 11:30. Now, I mean, this is the second and last video of the night. Now, I mean, today, you know, who knows? Maybe AEW Dynamite is still going on as of this recording. Now, I mean, because they have a tendency of fucked up time management. A real bad tendency, you know? But, hey, listen, you know, I'm not watching the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is going to be a dud. You know, it's going to be shit. Yo, I found out that La Catalina, La Catalina, I think, is now in AAA. That was a great signing by AAA, by WWE. You know, and from what I understand, Persephone's deal is coming up in September, and her ass is gone. You know what I mean? And speaking of girls that's gone, I am so pissed. Because yesterday, as I'm walking around Fort Greene Park, I come back because like they just opened up a Mets in right there in Clinton Hill, like 2 blocks down from Fort Greene Park. As I'm coming back, I go to the park, and there's this banging dark-skinned girl, bro. Like, I wanted to lock eyes, and we could have locked eyes, but the fucking cops were there. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, damn, I'm so pissed. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I love dark-skinned women. Like, she was chocolate. She was chocolate. You know what I mean? And she was also, you know, she was what they say, you know, thick. You know what I mean? She was thick. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you know, a little BBW. I didn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what size you are. If you look good, I'm fucking with you. Especially if you're chocolate. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was pissed. Like, I was cursing everything. Like, people were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I was mad. I would never let that shit ride. I would never let that shit pass again. Ever. But anyway, you know, today's wrestling fan is very different from the time that I watch wrestling. You know what I mean? Very, very different. And do you guys remember a video that I made how Dave Meltzer's how his 5-star ratings were in professional wrestling? You guys remember when I said that? So it seemed like now with today's wrestling fan, all they care about is having the best match on the card, having the best match, as opposed to storytelling. This is why WWE does the shit that they do very, very well. Even if the story is shit, they still know how to stretch their investment. You know what I mean? In terms of stories and such. The wrestling is there. The wrestling's always going to be there, right? But again, they tell stories, right? That's what they do. But it seems like a lot of these fans now, all they care about is, oh, he has a good work rate. You know, he's a good worker. He's a good worker. You know, he's a great worker. How the fuck can you be a good worker and you had no substance behind your work? This is why I think this is why I say I was a big fan of someone like Tracy Smothers. I love Tracy Smothers. I miss that motherfucker. That dude was different. And I should make a video about him for my wrestlers ahead of their time list. Because yes, Tracy Smothers was a good hand. He was a great hand. But the thing I loved about Tracy Smothers was that he was able to take chicken shit and turn it into chicken sandwich. He didn't take himself seriously. Now, I mean, his best work was with the FBI. You know what I mean? He was hilarious too. You know, he was a great hand. He had work rate, and he was good too because he also was a character who had work rate. Now with today's wrestling fans, you don't got that. You don't have that. All you have is, oh man, let me get 5 stars. Oh, the moves are cool and blah, 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 blah. All this other bullshit, right? All this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, listen. It's good. Listen, it's good to have work rate, right? It's good. Let me just sip some water. Hold on. Woo! Sorry about that. It's good to have work rate, right? There's nothing wrong with work rate. There's nothing wrong. But you gotta balance it out. And I think with today's fans, they are too obsessed with it. Oh, he's able to give you a good match. He's able to give you a good match. But the wrestlers, it kind of bleeds into the wrestlers too. Because instead of the wrestlers acting out a gimmick, they want to, suck the cock of Dave Meltzer. And, they want to suck the cock of Dave Meltzer and they want to, they want to get these 5 stars. Oh man, we need a 5-star match. We need a fucking 5-star. Wrestling is not supposed to be one-sided. It's not supposed to be one-sided. And a lot of times when you have wrestlers who only gives you work rates, right? It's usually the cruiserweights. It's usually the fucking cruiserweights. That word work rate, to be honest, like that shit started with WCW, right? Because of the cruiserweights. Mysterio, Guerrero, Malenko, Jericho. I don't want to say this guy's name, but I'm going to have to. Benoit. You know what I mean? All these guys, right? They had good work rate. They was able to give you good shit in the ring. They was able to give you really, really good shit in the ring. But yes, they all became big, right? Chris Jericho to me was the biggest it became the biggest out of all of them. You know what I mean? Even to me, he surpassed Eddie Guerrero. I got to keep it a stack. But Eddie Guerrero, had charisma and stuff with the Latino Heat gimmick. Chris Jericho, right? Not this Jericho that we're seeing, not this failure of Chris Jericho that we're seeing, but like a decade ago, right? Was able to have character and such. So he was able to the shit he did with Shawn Michaels, right? When he kicked Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. Remember that? It was I think it was a mistake, but they still put it in there. Right? He was able to tell stories, motherfucker. Stories. Okay? What do you do with today's wrestlers now? What do you do? The last big great storytelling, or the last great big story was with, and I want to say it's the last, no, you could say it was the Rock Final Boss, right? It was that, but also it was with Sami Zayn. Remember when he took the chair and he whacked it over Roman Reigns' back at the Royal Rumble many years ago? Remember that? The crowd popped. The crowd popped. People cried. You don't get that with AEW. But with these fans, oh, I don't give a fuck about that. Oh, I want to see 5 stars. Oh, I want to see Will Ospreay. The Ariel Arsenal, Will Ospreay. Oh, I want to see Mercedes Moné. Come on, B. Like, that's not what wrestling is about, bro. I mean, yes, that's one part of wrestling. That's just one part of wrestling, right? And we're talking about psychology. Psychology is basically the fans knowing, or the wrestlers knowing what the fans are going to do before the fans react. It's like magic. Like, I love magic. You know what I mean? I love magic. You get, with tricks and you know how to amaze people, right? That's what good wrestlers do. So it's not all about 5-star matches and such all the time. But these fans, like, they go to cagematch.net. Oh, he was great to have 5 stars. Oh, Okada and Omega. Oh, man, they put on 5 stars. Nobody gives a fuck at this point. Nobody cares. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care. I don't care. Because, again, it's not about work rate. Work rate to me is overrated because you gotta have stuff. You gotta have stuff to complement work rate. You know what I mean? That's like you make a beat, right? You make a beat and shit, right? That's like a producer making a rap beat, right? Yeah, the beat sounds good, right? Like, yeah, we could work off the drums and, we could work off the drums and the snare and the hi-hats and everything. But you need a sample. You need a fucking sample to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? You need a sample. Or otherwise, the beat is only as good as you make it out to be. You know what I mean? And so with wrestling fans today, you know what I mean? With modern wrestling fans today, all they want, all they want is, work rate. What they think wrestling's supposed to be is what they see in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Oh, this is real wrestling. This is real wrestling with the strong style and the hard hits. That's not fucking real wrestling. Yeah, it is. It is, but there's no story in their shit. What, the Bullet Club? The Bullet Club? That's your story, the Bullet Club? Really now? Really? The fuck? What you guys are fucking mental, bro. You're fucking mental. But listen, I mean, if this is what you think, all right, fine. Fine. That's absolutely fine. Right? That's absolutely fine. But storytelling is key. Because with storytelling means more than anything in this fucking business. Storytelling is what's going to pull you in. You know what I mean? Storytelling is going to fuck with your emotions, right? In a good way. In a good way. Work rate, I mean, listen, I'm not saying work rate can't do that. One match, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Okay? Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. It was perfect. It was perfect. But when you build a match from the ground up with no story and just all match, it don't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. I mean, it really doesn't mean anything. Like, you could go out and have a bunch of great matches, right? Ricochet could go out and have a bunch of great matches, but it's not going to mean anything, though. No, because there's no story behind it. There's none. There's none, But listen, if these fans want to think that, all right, no problem. You want to be delusional and say, oh, man, work rate counts. He has good work rate. And plus, what the fuck is work rate anyway? What? That I could fly. I could take. To me, work rate is basically, you being able to take bumps. You being able to, get spots called and just, work with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's what work rate is. That I can work. You know what I mean? I can definitely work. I can listen to signals in my ear. Like, I could work with anybody any size. I could adjust to any style. You know what I'm saying? I could do all these things, right? Like the jack of all trades. That to me is what work rate is, right? Not fucking 5 stars every fucking match. You know what I mean? Because if it's only move for move, shit. I seen the crappiest match or the match that has, no flips and shit be good matches. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, Diamond Dallas Page. See, there's a difference between work rate and work ethic. That's the difference. If you said work ethic, okay, I can give you that. But work rate, what the fuck is work rate? I don't know what the fuck work rate is. That's just something that, that these IWC fans made. You know what I mean? These corny ass motherfuckers from the internet wrestling community. If you don't like what I had to say, you can suck my dick. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. I'm going to definitely holler at y'all mañana. I'm going to check y'all. Peace.